live, late breaking. West 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Welcome back on your Sunday. I'm Sonica Donge.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. We are watching Tropical Storm Debby as it churns towards our state. Right now, the storm is less than 200 miles away from Tampa and is forecast to become a hurricane before it makes landfall tomorrow.
We are bringing in first warning meteorologists Eric Burris and Kellyanne Class, timing out the storm and its impacts in our area. Eric, let's start with you. We know advisories are in effect in parts of Central Florida.
Yeah, so we've got tropical storm warnings in effect for Sumter, western Marion County, meaning tropical storm conditions are expected there. We have tropical storm watches in effect for Lake County and central and eastern Marion County, meaning that tropical storm conditions are possible. But let me show you what's going on right now. 5 o'clock advisory carries winds of about 50 miles an hour inside of Tropical Storm Debby. The storm system is trying to fill in that western side. Until it does so, it will not be able to intensify much. But you can see out on the east side, all of that rain. It's that shield of rain that will eventually impact us. Satellite presentation starting to show some colder cloud tops, so convection continues to bubble, and I think as the sun comes up today and it moves over very, very warm waters, more than likely we will have plenty opportunity for this to develop and strengthen further. Hurricane Center expects it to be just shy of hurricane intensity this afternoon, becoming a hurricane overnight tonight and making landfall as a Category 1 with winds of anywhere from 75 to 85 miles an hour. So that said, that's the forecast for the storm system itself. This morning across Central Florida, we are doing okay until those rain bands arrive. Let's get over to Kellyanne with more.
Yeah, good morning, Eric. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so it is Sunday. Things are nice and quiet as you get up and get ready for morning services. Things are not bad. I think throughout the morning, we should stay on the quiet side. We did have a couple of thunderstorms way out in the Atlantic. Those are now pushing way up north as the system is still off the coast of southwest Florida. Some of those outer rain bands, like Eric said, are moving into parts of southwest Florida. And I think it'll take some time for those outer rain bands to get here. So what you need to know this morning, it's pretty much dry and quiet. I did leave a 10% chance of rainfall in the forecast just in case we get a few passing showers. Nothing severe. 11 o'clock, we have the opportunity to up those rain chances a bit, but really it'll be this afternoon when those rain chances quickly increase, and starting at 12 is when we'll have our first warning weather day begin, continuing all the way through the evening hours and into tomorrow as we start to deal with some of the worst of the weather. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll time that piece out hour by hour. We'll also let you know when things turn back to normal.
All right, back to that breaking news now out of Volusia County. The state fire marshal is investigating a deadly house fire. Watch 2's Bob Hazen is joining us live from Deltona this morning. Bob, we know crews were fighting those flames for hours. We can see some of them still on scene behind you.
Sonica, the fire itself has been knocked down. We're in the investigation phase at this point. I want to show you the house behind me with the sun kind of coming up now. You can see a little bit better the top of the house there, just really destroyed. And the state fire marshal's out here, and they've been putting out some hot spots as well. There's still some smoke coming out of the house, and we have seen a couple of little flames spark back up, even though, again, most of the fire has been knocked down. Now, this is on Howland Boulevard. It's just east of Providence Boulevard here in Deltona. The first call about this came in close to 1:15 this morning, and I talked to a division chief with Deltona Fire here. He said that the firefighters could actually see the flames shooting out from the top of the building when they were coming down the road early this morning. They started trying to knock the fire down from the outside, then they went inside, and that is where they found the victim.
Heard the neighbors say something about the owner was still at home. Did a quick search for what we could. Found the owner in the master bedroom. He was removed out of one of the windows. He was pronounced dead here at the scene, unfortunately.
We are told that victim was the only person who lived in this house and that he was an older man. We don't know yet how this fire itself actually started. But again, the state fire marshal is out here right now conducting that investigation. Reporting live in Deltona, Bob Hazen, West 2 News.
People across Lake County are coming together to honor and support the deputy shot in an ambush Friday night.
The sheriff's office identified the deputy who died and the other two who are recovering in the hospital. West 2's Spencer Tracy joins us live this morning. And Spencer, they are planning a vigil to honor them later today.
That's right. And the sheriff's department is reeling in just feeling the grief here this morning, as well as the past 48 hours of losing one of their own, and just really putting in perspective, the last time that they lost a member was in 2005. Now, Master Deputy Bradley Link leaves behind his wife, family, and as well as his brothers and sisters here at the department, and many of them will be gathering tonight to honor him. Now, the Lake County Sheriff's Office says they tried to save Link during Friday night's shootout. Deputies say he lost his life inside a home after responding to a disturbance call. The Sheriff's Office says Link wasn't even supposed to be there that night, but still came to help.
It's hard. Doing the right thing. Good deputy. Now here we are left reeling as an agency, trying to put the pieces together, move forward, planning a funeral, supporting his widow, his parents.
You can just hear the emotions in the sheriff's office. Now, back to Friday night when a team came in to rescue Link. That's when Deputy First Class Stefano Gargagno was shot several times. Master Deputy Sheriff Harold Howell was also shot. Howell was able to escape and is expected to be okay. Deputy First Class Gargagno is still fighting for his life, and the sheriff's office says he is having another surgery today in Sanford. Now, like I said, the community here in Tavares will be gathering, as well as the police department, to honor Deputy Link. Of course, we'll be there tonight, and we'll give you the latest as the whole community here rallies around the Lake County Sheriff's Office. For now, reporting live in Tavares, I'm Spencer Tracy, West 2 News.
Meanwhile, efforts are underway to help the families of those 2 wounded deputies.
We're ensuring that they have somewhere to stay so that they're near the hospital, so that they can be an immediate response on their behalf to stand there with their loved ones.
The Florida Sheriff's Association also has counselors ready to help everyone impacted, including the deputies' colleagues.
People are taking to social media to offer their condolences. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings made this statement, saying this heartbreaking incident underscores the risks our law enforcement officers face every day and their commitment to protect and serve.
And the Flagler County Sheriff's Office posted saying, our hearts are with our brothers and sisters at the Lake County Sheriff's Office, praying for the family of the fallen hero and for speedy and full recovery of the injured heroes.
As people band together to support the deputies and their families, the Florida Sheriff's Association is warning about fake fundraising efforts for the family of the fallen deputy. The association posted on social media saying, in part, unfortunately, when tragedy hits, scams start to surface. We do have a link to the official fundraiser right now on WESH.com. As the deputies recover, we are working to get more updates in this developing investigation. You can follow along with our coverage on air and online at WESH.com. Communities across the state are preparing for Tropical Storm Debby. Now, this is video of the first storms felt in southwest Florida that were part of the outer bands. And for people who have lived in Florida here for years, the name Debby can bring up some bad memories of a tropical storm that hit back in 2012. The storm caused $250 billion in damages. 7 people died in Florida. Now, that storm dumped 29 inches of rain just south of Tallahassee.
All right, I want to bring in first warning meteorologist Eric Burris again as we continue monitoring what Debby is going to bring our area.
Yes, so the time frame and just also, Eric, the impacts that we'll be seeing right here in Central Florida.
Yeah, so I think that the next 2 days' time, we're just going to have some squally weather. Interestingly enough, looking at the center of circulation, you can see a whole bunch of rain and a bunch of dry air. We're kind of in that dry slot. But as the storm lifts to the north, approaching the Big Bend, certainly that shield of rain will start to spread into our area. And I think that that's going to be our primary impact from Debby. It will be the rain, the gusty winds in some of those tropical feeder bands, and the potential for an isolated brief spin-up tornado. But at this point, I'm really happy to say for a Sunday morning, we are nice and quiet. First warning live Doppler radar, rain-free at least in our area. You could see, though, a heavy band moving right into Naples, lifting up through Bonita Springs, getting into Fort Myers and points away, and even a couple of showers in Palm Beach County. I'm pointing these out in Palm Beach County because eventually they move to the Treasure Coast, and then eventually up to the Space Coast where we are. So here we are through 10 o'clock, and you're good. Morning services, walk on the beach. It'll be humid, it'll be warm, it'll be breezy, but it'll be quiet through about lunchtime. But just after lunchtime, Futurecast is starting to put in some of those pockets of torrential downpour activity. And of course, from there on out, I think this afternoon gets into this evening with more and more rain, gusty downpours, and even the potential for some severe weather in terms of isolated tornadoes. Meteorologist Kellyanne Klass joins us with live team coverage to make sure you know every element of how Debby will impact Central Florida. Brand new data in minutes.
And we are also keeping you updated on Tropical Storm Debby after our shows this morning. You can join Eric on an extended edition of Coffee Talk on Facebook Live at 8 a.m. And then he'll be joined by Jeremy Nelson, the chief meteorologist at our sister station in Georgia. They'll be tracking the tropics live at 10. As Tropical Storm Debby continues to strengthen, the risk of widespread power outages will grow in parts of the state.
And while losing power may be inevitable for some people, crews are trying to soften the blow. How major power companies are mobilizing teams to lessen storm damage in the Big Bend area.